He's back. What is up, Finn fans? Yes, me and Big O got back together. A lot of you guys were asking, hey, what the flip's going on with you and Big O? We explain it, he explains it in the beginning of today's episode. We talk about a lot. We talk about a whole lot from the defense. You know, I'm very critical of Josh Boyer. He kind of talks about that. We talk about the defense. We talk about the offense. We talk about a lot of things. So this is a really good one. I'm not going to beat around the bush anymore. Let's jump into it and get into another episode of me and Big O. The boys are back in town. What is up, Big O? I missed you, bud.
I missed you. I missed you guys, and those of you that listen to the show. I've been struggling a little bit with my voice a little bit, so I've been pacing myself, and so I've been missed this show a couple times, and I know we've had a couple of conflicts and stuff. So I apologize, but it is great to be back with the Dolphin Nation.
No need to apologize. Dolphins. You've been doing this for 30 years. I think you need a little bit of a break. But
it's just that this monster of moving from radio after 30 years to then now this digital platform and a different way of doing things, and so everything is it's not just an adjustment for me. It's an adjustment for a lot of the listeners, even the older listeners that aren't necessarily technically savvy, and then sponsors too. Because it's a different form of advertising for them too. So it's just it's a whole challenge all the way around, and I feel like crypto when I try to explain to people what crypto is and they don't get it and stuff like that. It's the same thing when it comes to the digital media world. It's new to a lot of people.
Yeah, well, you're taking off at the right point. 7-3.
Yes,
sitting at our bye, first in the AFC East, second in the AFC. What's your thoughts on this Miami Dolphins team?
I came up with a very interesting question to the show today. How many teams in the NFL can say they've got a guy up for Executive of the Year in Chris, Head Coach of the Year in Mike, MVPs in Tua and Tyreek, and they're a Super Bowl contender at 7-3, and the way that offense is playing, which is apparently the envy of many people around the league now, because everybody's bragging about all the stuff that the Dolphins are doing on offense. And I think people are now, hopefully some, we still have idiots that are like giving everybody else credit except Tua. And but at least people are now starting to realize how good this young man is.
Yeah.
And like the dimes that he dropped, this past week, that not every quarterback does stuff like that. In fact, most of the quarterbacks that we've had here for 20 years can't do the things that he has. And that's why he is, the best quarterback we've had since Dan Marino, man. And so think about that. You could talk about the Eagles, right? But they don't have two MVP candidates, so that doesn't equal. And I still don't think they're a Super Bowl caliber team, only because I still don't believe that Hurts can beat you with his arm. They still have to beat you on the ground. And so until the Fields, the Hurts, and the Lamar Jacksons of the world learn how to play like Russell Wilson, a young Russell Wilson, where you're a passer that brings the athleticism, then I'll fear you. But if not, I'm not fearing those kind of quarterbacks, in the playoffs. So think about that. Dolphins could be a Super Bowl contender. They've got two candidates for MVP. Not a lot of teams have that. And the head coach in Greer up for their own awards. It's a pretty good year, Dolphin fans. Pretty good year.
It's a very good year. And you hit on a very good point. Some people eating crow. Some people are still they're still fighting it. And now the talking point, and I get this a lot, which always makes me laugh. You put any quarterback in this system, they're going to do as good as Tua. And I'm like, do you watch him play? Because the throws he makes are just ridiculous. Like you said this past week, that one play to Jalen Waddle on the out route where he just perfectly over the defender, the touchdown to Sherfield in the back of the end. You put that's the talking point. One is Well, you got to see what he does in December in the cold. And you put any quarterback in that system, it's the pieces and the head coach. It's not necessarily
They
Tua.
keep moving the line, bro. They keep moving the line. Every time they're wrong, oh, well, no, he's got to do this, and he's got to do this, and he's got to do this. And, the stupid stuff about the weather, I'm sorry, are all the passes supposed to be 70 yards downfield? Because that's not what the game is played.
Nope.
That happens once in a blue moon. He's slicing people up in a 35-yard box.
Mm-hmm.
He'll be fine, dude. And he's got enough zip. Watch the damn game, man.
Oh, yeah.
He's got more than enough zip to make all those throws. And he's got more. The throw he made to Tyreek Hill to the sidelines when he's about to be pressured, to have that anticipation.
Back foot.
Yeah, it's nuts, bro. People don't have a feel for the game like that. That's not a throw you'll ever see from Ryan Tannehill, from John Beck, from Cleo Lemon, from most of these guys that have played here for 20 years would never, ever be able to do that throw right there that he made. You see Chad Henne making that throw? Get the hell out of here, dude. I mean, it's so ridiculous how they keep moving the bar on this young man, and he just keeps. Right. Did you watch the 10-minute thing?
Oh yeah.
Him?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, I always hear, well, he's not much of a leader. No, yeah, he was, bro.
Oh my.
I know he was at Alabama, but when you get cock blocked by your coach who doesn't give you the keys to the kingdom and doesn't believe you, then the rest of the soldiers are not going to say you're the general because the president is saying you're not the general. I'm going to go with Jacoby Brissett. And I'm sure, behind the scenes, the guys are going like, what the hell is he doing? But that's the way it was. And you heard him in the 10-minute thing. Oh, I don't give speeches. What did Flo want you to do? He wanted you to politic for the damn captain job. It's not what he does. Oh, no, he doesn't want to be a captain. No, you idiot. He's not going to go beg you to be a captain because the quarterback is your captain. And it's what Bridgewater said in those 10 minutes. You play like that on the field, they will run through walls for you or whatever the hell he said. You deliver, they run through walls. That's it. And he's delivering, and they're running through walls. And that's all you need to know. It's just the narrative's all been crushed by him.
That pass you were talking about with to Tyreek Hill is so funny to me because he was like, Hill said that he could have the touchdown. Why didn't he get it to him? And he was like, I have pressure in my face, man. He was like,
yeah. To have that in your mind on that pressure to throw that ball, that's just stupid, bro.
And it from a vertical standpoint, I think it was like 30 yards, but he threw from the left hash to the right sideline. So it was like a 42-yard pass on his back foot, 2 defenders in his like any quarterback could do it. Any quarterback can't because 2 quarterbacks tried to. And I'm not knocking Teddy, and I'm not knocking Skyler because Skyler, I think, is going to be a very good backup. And I think he's going to be a very good quarterback. Teddy, he did well against Minnesota, but they didn't get the job done. Like Tua was getting the job done. So we've seen evidence that not every quarterback can do it.
How many executives with the Miami Dolphins draft your starter and your backup within a 3-year span? Suck on that.
Pick.
Suck on that. Okay? Suck on that. All right.
Another guy I want to talk about, speaking of late draft picks, Kader Kohou.
Oh, he's not even a pick.
Yeah. Like, oh my goodness. I love this kid.
You saw his celebration, right?
Yeah.
The lightsaber. Darth Kader, baby. I love that. That was fantastic. I saw it in the game. I was like, oh, this is awesome.
He's a top 10 rookie.
Some guy goes to me, it's a seatbelt. I go, who the hell is he, bro? What do you think he is? Crash test dummy? Get the hell out of here, bro. Darth Kader, he knows. So he locked it in and everything. That is a saber, dude. What's wrong with you?
I think right now he's a top 10 rookie in the ranking. I think he's like 6.
He is, number 6. CBS had him at 6, which is immense respect. And by the way, that's Josh Boyer that found him. Okay. So for all you people that are killing Josh Boyer, Justin Bethel playing well under Josh Boyer. Brandon Jones improved his coverage skills under Josh Boyer. Nick Needham was developing under Josh Boyer. This team, they've done a really good job. I think Josh Boyer's done a really good job overall. He's had an injured secondary. His pass rushers have not gotten the job done. Ogba and Phillips, although Phillips, I think, has actually played really well.
Mhm.
It's just kind of cheating that, like, you need the sack numbers, but if you look at it, there's a lot of pressures there.
Oh
His
yeah.
his effort is, my God, that motor never stops. Ogba, I'm a little disappointed in, and sadly
Yeah.
now he went out, but I think the Chubb move is gonna really pay off. And again, way to go, Chris Greer. You went and made the move for Smith and for Chubb. And my God, Smith fit the scheme right away. You thought Chase could fit. It didn't work out. He's a good player. It just didn't
Mm.
work out here. And you bring in Smith, and all of a sudden now you've got a running game. And folks, the Houston Texans are number 32 against the run. Ah, that's going to be fun in 2 weeks. They're going to run for 250 yards on those fools.
And
Pound them, bro.
it's funny too because I am one. I was very disappointed, and I understood. A lot of people wanted us to talk about this. They kept saying to me in the comment section, "You better talk to Big O. Big O likes Boyer, and you're bashing Boyer." And we'll talk about it. I definitely see the improvement, and he definitely does. We don't have Byron out there. I'm going to ask you about Byron, but that's in a few minutes. We don't have Byron out there, and then we lost Brandon Jones, we lost Nick Needham, we lost Trill Williams.
X is injured. X has either 2 growing injuries or he's down to 1 now. But you can tell he's not himself because
No, he's not himself,
they're attacking him like he's a normal corner.
and he's dropping picks, which he never does. Like
Right.
he's always around the turnovers. But it was like for me my biggest knock on Boyer, because I understand the secondary, I understand the struggles there. It's sometimes his like decision making in certain situations and his scheme picks
Like
bothered
like
me.
like
Um,
what was wrong? Tell me.
like there was a few times. What game was it? I think it might have been the Bills game where he decided to send the zero blitz to me at the wrong times.
Okay.
Um, that's where my biggest knock on him is.
I
Some of the
I I you but again, you're in a catch-22. Your secondary can't cover. So if you don't blitz or if you don't put pressure, you expose them. I
Mm,
think that's why they went and traded for Chubb also.
mm.
One, it's a 25-year-old free
Oh
agent
yeah,
that's
oh yeah,
available. Oh, yeah, let's go bring him aboard. We got a young pass rusher along with Phillips for the next few years. So I understood the method behind the madness there. But on the flip side, they also said, man, we're hurting our secondary. You just can't find really great cover corners standing on the street.
yeah,
So let's go get ourselves a pass rusher to try to mask what's going on in the back end. And since Phillips and Ogba really aren't getting the sacks for us, they're coming from safeties and linebackers and things like that. Well, then we've got to pick that up because we cannot keep exposing those guys back there because, as you see, the numbers are really bad against the
yeah,
secondary. And so I think that's the method behind the madness. And now Boyer's playing, now he's playing zone.
yeah.
So he's had to change. Now he reminds me a lot of Eric Spoelstra, if you're a Miami Heat fan, how when Spo's had injuries and in certain years he's had to change offenses in the middle of a season. Now you're changing a defense in the middle of a season when you're not really a zone team. You are really going to be 2 men on an island, and the rest is pressure and use your strong safety to help you out. Where the free safety then cleans everything else on the back end. You can't play that defense right now because you don't have your stud corners. So that ruins it. Brandon Jones is irreplaceable.
Yeah.
There's nobody that as dynamic as he is. So I feel bad for Boyer.
Mhm.
But in the process, even when Tua was out, dudes, the defense at times kept you in those games.
Yeah.
Gave
Yeah.
you a chance to even win those games. The
10
Jet
punt.
game became completely out of control because of the turnovers.
Yes, 100%.
Ruined everything in the short fields and all that stuff. I personally think Boyer has done a fantastic job in adjusting with what he's done. He's helped out in personnel, identifying, secondary players. So to me, I really think he's done. Is he going to be perfect? No.
No.
But like people are complaining about Justin Fields, and I showed multiple pictures where guys were there. It's just
Not
it
making the
was
tackle.
Rocky chasing the chicken, and you just couldn't catch the chicken
Yeah.
because Justin Fields and Lamar Jackson and Jalen Hurts will make you look stupid because they're stupid athletes, bro. They're just sick athletes. So, that day Justin Fields was on and Miami just sucked, but it wasn't like they were bad calls. Players were there to try to catch them. They were just grabbing air because he went by. You have a 6'4" deer running past you.
Yeah.
It's tough, man. So I'm a Boyer guy. I'm not a Danny Crossman guy, but I'm a Boyer guy.
Yeah, and you hit the nail on the head. I think a lot of my problem is I'm probably just a prisoner of the moment where I'm like watching things happen live, and I'm like, this or that. But you made a great point. When Tua wasn't out there, we forced the Vikings of all teams, the Vikings, to punt 10 times, the most by any defense this year. So yeah, you got a very valid point there,
guys. If Tua's healthy, they're 9-1 or 10-0.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm sorry,
100%.
and nobody's complaining a damn thing. You know what I'm saying? And here's the other thing. Also, here's what I would tell you, Doug, that I've told a lot of my listeners. There are two things I want you to do as a Dolphins fan. I'm not telling you what to do, but I'm asking you. Your life will be much better if you do this. 2, stop living in the past. That's number 1.
Oh yeah.
Stop thinking that this is, Cam Cameron, and this is Dave Wanstead, and this is, Ray Lucas at quarterback, or Pat White, or whatever, even Pennington, who was just serviceable and didn't turn over the ball. So that's why you had a chance with the guy. None of these people were good enough. None of these teams were good enough. This team is way better than anything we've had since the early 90s.
Yes.
So stop living in the past. You're not going to get burned. This is a hell of a team. They're playing well. The only thing that has hurt this team has been injuries.
Yes.
Then the other thing I want you to change, because we have been programmed for 20 years now. This is how we've been programmed. Shitty offenses all the way to Jimmy Johnson till now, and that the defense always has to bail us out because we can't score enough points. Well, guess what, folks? You no longer have that kind of a dominant defense right now because of all the injuries and everything that happened. So they're going to bend and maybe not break like they did with Justin Fields. That at the end of the game, Duke Riley makes a big tackle. Plays were made at the end just to kind of seal it and win the game, even though they got torched in between. You now have a Dolphins team that the offense bails out the defense.
Yeah.
It's no longer what we've had for 25 years, that the defense would bail out the offense. And we got to count on Jason Taylor and Zach Thomas and Sam Madison. And we need Cam Wake to do this. And we need Paul Soliai. And we need, what was the safety Jones?
Rashad Jones.
Rashad Jones, all those kind of players that we've had in the past, good players, good defensive players, and we always were counting on them to make that play because our team could only score 14, 15, 18, 21 points. And we knew that when we hung with teams with 30, we had no shot whatsoever as a Dolphin fan base. Those days have changed, man.
Yeah.
Okay. This is a team that will be bailed out by its offense, dictated by offense. And we are in an offensive era of football. And if you really look around the NFL, there aren't really any more dominant defenses. There aren't several. There's not even one, actually, to be quite honest. And so those are the two things that I want you to change as a Dolphin fan. Unprogram yourself that the defense is the anchor of this team. It's the offense. And the other one is stop thinking that the next thing we do is terrible. Those are the fans that are trying to make, oh, no, I've been here before. No, you haven't, bro. This is not what you've seen before.
Yeah,
Stop.
no.
Stop it already. Please be confident. Enjoy this. We got a damn good team.
And to touch on 2 points, 100%, because the thing that we heard the most is can this offense win in a shootout, and can Tua win in a shootout? Yeah, he did multiple times this year.
Yeah, he can also win by 21 down, which is even better than a shootout.
Came back. He's had multiple comebacks. And the other thing is we have, and I understand that the numbers are skewed by quarterbacks, we have probably the best rush defense in the NFL right now. Stopping some of the best running. Nick Chubb did nothing against Miami.
As long as it's not a quarterback, we're good.
We're good. Yeah, we'll stop your running backs, but if it's your quarterback, we might have a hard time there, especially if they're covered in butter.
Until the fourth quarter. Then we, because you see, and when I was telling you how the Hurts and the Jacksons of the world, you're down 21, and you're coming back on Lamar Jackson, and he's peeing in his pants on the other side of the field because all of a sudden his run game ain't working, and so because he only got that 75-yard run. You take that out, and it's nothing. He did nothing in that game, actually. and he can't match with Tua. And he can never match with it. Doesn't matter who it is. Once he runs into a real quarterback in every game towards the end, and now he has to match scores, unless he can run it, he's not going to be throwing them in. That's just the way it is. And Tua has already, again, like we just started, he has crushed all these narratives.
Yeah.
Can't run a high-powered offense. Can he beat Buffalo? Can he come back from deficits? Can he stay healthy? Now, guess what? He's learned how to throw the ball away now. He's learned how to slide now. He's starting to adapt to that, which is really the only reason why he's had all the major injuries, as we pointed out, that he's holding it for 4 or 5 seconds. He stopped doing that, and all of a sudden, dude, he's smart, man. He's super smart. Stop being Mr. Guts. We know you got guts, bro. We know you got balls. We know you're super tough, okay? But we also know you're a great quarterback. Just stay healthy for us, and I think we're all going to see, a team that could go deep into the playoffs. I already got my house in Arizona, baby. I got my 3-bedroom, 3-bath in Arizona, so I am set to go, man. So if the Dolphins make it, our platform will be there, and we'll cover it all the practices and everything. So we'll be there. Can't wait.
Speaking of injuries, we have Kyle Van Noy is able to not Kyle Van Noy, geez. Trey Flowers is able to come back from IR. And have you heard anything of Byron? Is there a possibility he comes back after this bye?
Well, I don't know if you've heard the show lately, and I think he's doing business with the Dolphins.
Mm.
And what I mean by that is, this is what I've been told by one source. I'm going to go iffy source because I haven't really used this person so much as a source, but I know they have a connection. And so I'm told that Byron has been very particular about his comeback, and that he has to kind of be 100% in order to come back. And he's had some setbacks here or there along the way, and it isn't always about the injury. It's other things that have popped up, a hamstring or something. And so I think he's being particular about this, and I don't like this myself because here's X playing with 2 growing injuries, or maybe he's down to 1. But either way, he's not healthy. Here's Tua that you knock his ass out in the first half against Buffalo, and he comes back to win the game. And then he's concussed, and he wants to come back. By the way, he could have come back for those games that he missed. Yeah. All of them, by the way, okay? But anyway, whatever. He was clearing all the protocols and all the checks and everything. He's different than one guy could be Ethan Carter, bro, and you suffer and you're done for the year. And it lingers and it gives you all kinds of headaches. And another person, it doesn't affect you.
Yeah.
The next day, you're just fine. You can't tell. But anyway, so what was I saying now? What was I talking about?
Byron and
Byron. So I think Byron is doing business. Byron knows he's going to get released in the offseason. It's a $14 million cap hit. They've got to sign Christian Wilkins. They've got to do all kinds of other things in the offseason too. And they're not going to be able to keep all their corners. By the way, folks, be prepared over the next couple of years. They're hitting on their draft picks. They're not going to be able to keep everybody. Be prepared. You've got a good front office now.
Yeah.
Okay. Remember how they all used to leave? Now they're going to keep them, and now they can't even keep all of them.
Yeah.
Okay. That's the new problem that the Dolphins have. But guess what? They turn into compensatory picks.
Yep.
So there's lights at the end of the tunnel every single time with a front office that can draft. So hang in there.
Exactly.
But my point is, he knows he's going to get released. So he wants to come back at 100% because he needs to put good film out there. If he comes back and he's 80, 85, like a lot of the guys that are playing right now, he's not going to put good tape out there. And then when he gets cut, he's not going to get the big money. So when he comes back, and I believe he's going to come back. I believe he's trying to come back. This is not a Will Fuller situation.
Gotcha.
I will keep repeating this over and over again. I've said it every time I tell this story. This is not a guy that doesn't want to play. This is a guy who's very particular about how he comes back and how he's so particular, from what I'm told. He's particular about how he dresses, and he's got to look like super tight and clean and nice and, GQ and all that kind of stuff. Like, this is the kind of guy he is, that everything's got to kind of be like right. And so he's kind of particular about this. And I think he's also doing that because if he has any setbacks when he comes back, what happens? He loses out on free agents. He was out all year. He came back to get injured again. Yeah, we'll give you a minimum deal. Here's some incentives. You want to come to here, Byron? And so that's what I think is happening. He wants to be right. So when he does come back on the field, he looks good. He puts good film out there. And when the Dolphins release him, he can go and sign with another team. So that's why I think he's doing business with the Miami Dolphins right now. He's not coming back for the love of the game. He's coming back, or for the love of this team. He's coming back more for the love of his career to make sure he can keep it going. And remember, he's also on the back end of his career. So this will be the last contract if he can get one. But you're not going to get one if you're not healthy.
Do you think the fact that we're winning also is, maybe pushing him to get back on the field? Because I'm pretty sure if we were losing, if we were 3-7, he'd probably be like, I'm good. I'm not coming back.
Yeah. And I think that and listen, I know there are some Dolphin fans out there because I've gotten the emails, I've gotten the text, the tweets, and all that stuff. Oh, screw him. I don't want him back anymore. Well, no. Listen, he wants to be selfish. Let's be selfish on our end. You're better off with him.
Yeah.
100%. Okay. So if he wants to play 2 or 3 games at the end of the regular season, which then leads into the playoffs, hey man, the Dolphins get a good player in. You can move Kohu to the slot, which I think he's very athletic, can handle it. Remember the play with Mark Andrews down the field against the Ravens? That showed me physicality in the air also with a tough player, an all-pro in Mark Andrews. So I really like that from Kohu. So I think that would make you a better secondary, and I think it would satisfy you, Dougie, because if you can get the corners towards the back end of the season healthy, then you're going to be able to have more of a pass rush up front. And that'll be good because you'll be able to play more of the island games. Right now, man, we can't play on the island. We can't play on the island, The island's flooded, man. So that's the problem. So we gotta get back to playing on the islands.
Big O, it's always a blast chatting with you. I know you got a lot going on. Let them know what you got going on over there.
Well, listen, every day, man, 10 a.m. Eastern, right here on YouTube. You can catch our live show every day. We've got a crap ton of insiders. We've got 4 that follow the Dolphins on an everyday basis, along with myself, that I've been covering the team for 33 years. Yes, I'm old. So we, I think when it comes to the Miami Dolphins, I don't think there's a platform in the world that provides better insight on your Dolphins than we do. So we encourage you, if you're part of the Dolphin Nation, to please subscribe. Big O Radio Show on all platforms. If you can't catch it live at 10 a.m., it's then podcasted on every platform out there. And we'd love to have your support. Game days, we do our own pre- and post-game show, 2 hours starting before the game, 2 hours right after the game for 2 hours, recapping everything with insiders straight from the locker room, all that good stuff. So we've got that going, and we cover the offseason like nobody else. We go to the Senior Bowl and the Combine and the East-West Shrine game and all kinds of stuff. And when the Dolphins get to the Super Bowl, we'll be there to cover it, baby. Yeah. You coming out, Doug?
Yeah, I'll be there. Okay. I'm going to stay with you. I'm going to sleep in the bed with you.
Go. Let's go. I had to get it now, bro. If I wait till December or January and then we find out, I can cancel it all on February 4th.
Yeah.
So I get my money back on February 4th if they're not going to make it. So I'm fine, but I'd rather have my pad ready to go just in case, man.
Exactly. But I will talk to you soon. We will do this again.
Fins up.